Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to Pine Grove News Live. It's 6 o'clock on the dot here on the East Coast, and weather 34 degrees, clear skies. But apparently, I'm going to be in the teens tonight and going to be 20 tomorrow. So back to winter. Yep, back to winter. And, it's still February, still midwinter. And I see from AccuWeather that Northern Carolina and Southern Virginia are going to brace for winter storm. Yeah, and anyways, I'm trying to see how much. And I got some guy talking. Yeah, so they got storm totals, Raleigh 6.2, Greensboro 7.7, Charlotte 4.4, New Bern 1.5, and that's the next storm for y'all. Just seems like, and believe me, I'm thankful for that. Even though I ended up having to buy a new snowblower, I have not had to use it once yet. Right? I really don't care if I do or not. But in any case, so let's get out this statement here, and let's go check and see if we are live on YouTube, PGN, Pine Grove News Live, and we are up and rolling. Okay, very good. Just so you know, I cannot at this time talk to anybody on the YouTube Live. I can see if anybody posts, but I can't talk on it because that's on the computer. It's a long story. But, YouTube still sees my PC as the enemy ever since I was taken off of it. Anytime I go to sign in to YouTube, it shuts everything down. Yeah, it's just strange. So, what's out there? Talk of the day, man, besides the coronavirus, right? I'll just tell you that I do have, I got a couple notes. First of all, we have an update. Going to talk a little bit about do you remember that old story about the Bible that kind of leaked oil? It started one little spot on a page and ended up being the whole Bible. And yeah, so we got an update on that. So stick around for that. We also got some other crazy stuff from, I guess it's from Breaking Israel News Live. Something the top rabbi is claiming anyway. We'll talk about that. And it's just crazy. It's, Matthew 24 thing. If, people tell you that Jesus is here or there, don't believe them. He's not in the desert. He's not in a padded room in Israel somewhere. They're not holding him there, for secrecy. He's not here yet. You will definitely know when Jesus comes back. You will know. So don't let anybody tell you that he's here or he's there or whatever. He's not. The Bible says that we will know. And then soldiers over there sent to Africa, African soldiers, sending troops to fight the locusts. Bizarre, huh? And Russia. Russia is the first country to ban all Chinese. I'd like to know how they're going to do that because they're actually good friends with the Chinese. Wow. However that goes, but yeah, is that profiling? Come on. You remember, you must have heard about the detention centers here in United States during World War II. I mean, you couldn't blame people. There were actually spies, Japanese spies in America. And we have all kinds of spies in here now. You have to profile. But, in any case, we don't have to worry about that at the moment. So that's just touching on that. Those notes, we'll get to that. I'm going to try and get through some of this quick. Yeah, there's some big talk about this. First of all, well, when we get to it, we'll get to it. When we get to the coronavirus, I will show you the updated numbers. I think, got to worry about other things too, like this, this volcano in Ecuador, Tungurucha's west flank. Satellites detect very rapid deformation of the Tungurucha's west flank, possibly leading to a colossal landslide. This is in Ecuador. So, yeah, some people were actually talking about that today and concerned. I mean, is it around? Somebody said that it's not around any particular ocean, that if it just slipped, like Mount St. Helens did, just kind of blew out the side of the mountain. That was awesome, first time ever something like that was actually recorded so we could see. But this volcano, also from Entamel, volcano in Ecuador showing early signs of impending catastrophic collapse. So they're all definitely worried that this thing is going to blow up. It's done it before. That's what they're saying. It's done it before. Let's see. When was the last time? They'll tell you down here. 3,000 years ago. Caused by imbalances between magma being supplied and magma being erupted. So, yeah. I mean, 25,000 people still there. I mean, really? Why would you still be there? I'm curious as to what all this is down here, some other event. In any case, I mean, we've been pretty lucky with these volcanoes. As many as they, that are active still. Just surprised there isn't more problems. And so, this also from the watchers, a bright fireball over the Popocatépetl volcano in Mexico. Man, I hate when that bounces around. So they got a little video here, 41 seconds long. We're going to play that. It's actually got volume too. They won't play the volume. So I don't know. They first they show the city, then they show the volcano, and yeah, you see this go by. I don't know. I've heard of this happening before with erupting volcanoes. So what does that mean? I mean, I don't know. Are angels coming in and being allowed to set these things off? I mean, I do think that there is an orchestrated plan in the process, as some people say in Daniel. I mean, there are programs in place that the Lord has put. That will happen. And of course, we won't know. Who knows who knows the thoughts of God, right? So this also from the watchers: intense bomb cyclone over North Atlantic set to hit Western Europe following Dennis. So the crazy weather continues. It's going to continue. I mean, everything else is continuing. Has somebody actually looked into all this? Are these trumpets or whatever. I know some people think that we're not supposed to be here for these bowl, whatever they are, these bowls in Revelation, or the seals, or any of the seals. Yeah, we're supposed to be gone for that. Well, I don't know. It seems like we're going through some type of orchestrated system, you know. The weather, the flooding, the earthquakes just continue and actually are getting worse. Just like we've been talking about for years, everything, you know, the volcanoes, you know, still erupting. You know, now we got one that may blow off half of the volcano. I mean, we've gotten all these, I don't know what you call them. Some people call them plagues. Some people actually call these things plagues, but I don't know if that's a true statement or not. You go look that up for the definition of plagues. And good for these people here in, I don't know where did it say it was, 14 parents sue the school district for affirming kids' transgender identity without consent. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're trying to do with our children. Wisconsin School District. Okay. Filed on behalf of the group of parents, most of whom were Christian. The lawsuit opposes the school's district policy that allowed children of any age to change their gender identity at school without parental consent. You know, come on, people. I wish there were more people that would do this, man, because these children do not understand those things unless you put it in their heads. They know who they are. Serious. I mean, you may have some, I mean, most of this is influenced by adults because some child is going through a 30-second phase. You know, then they try to explain all this to them. They're just all messed up. And, you know, the Lord has to come soon. It's just so wrong. Everything is just wrong. And in any case, they're going to continue to do these things. And the whole face of this world is just something I've never heard of or seen. I guess they said the same thing in the days of Noah, right? From Natural News, breaking, Switzerland's environmental agency announces national moratorium on 5G. And I know there's a lot of 5G that's going on over there. So, and a lot of people are fighting it. And then there's a lot of governments who are saying, well, too bad, they're going to do it anyway. And then people get sick, and they die. I mean, speaking of these agendas, I mean, we all talked about these agendas, Jade Helm, remember that one? Agenda 20, and it was 2030, and all these things, man. Just remember the Georgia Guidestones. Remember who's actually gets to do these things right now. He is the one running this world, even though it's not his, but he's being allowed to. And, what do you expect? He's come to kill, steal, and destroy things. He does not like mankind. No, he thinks that he should be put on a pedestal and admired and worshipped. And, when God, was man that, God would, pay attention to him, speak to him, whatever. That was the question with Job. Very good question. So anyways, this is in Switzerland too. So, they're the ones with CERN and Large Hadron Collider, all that stuff. Maybe they're not, maybe it interferes with their testing. Last time I checked about CERN, they were supposedly on a 2-year shutdown or revamping, making the magnets, doing, adjustments here and there. I'd almost rather them be silent, knowing that they're, but the next time they come out, I don't know, the way things are in this world, and now with this coronavirus, well, that's what they're calling it anyway. If you read that letter from Telehub the other day about that Chinese high-ranking intel person, he's claims that he's communist and he loves his country, but being a reasonable and just man, I guess he said that he had to come out and tell people about what is actually going on over there, and we're not being told the truth, but in any case, so yeah, enough of the 5G. We're still trying to fight it. Everyone's trying to fight it. They're going to put it out there. They're still killing, testing these things and killing birds, in bunches. I mean, there's a lot of other things that reason the birds and other creatures are dying. But the Lord did say he's going to take them all away. China deploys 40 incinerators. So we'll talk about this for a minute. Get you some updates. And deploys 40 incinerators to Wuhan amid fears of coronavirus death toll cover up. According to my broadcast on Monday, it's not the coronavirus death rate or toll that we're really should be worried about. It's what it really is. And you can find that in the video that we put out on Monday, where I read a long letter from this Chinese gentleman from a telehub. So anyways, yeah, much speculation. I mean, too much propaganda out there. I mean, they put stuff out there on purpose, obviously, to, find out our frame of mind, what we're thinking, and they put it out there to, train us like the TV, the programming to program our minds to think one way when things are not that way. They're totally different. And I do believe it. And we've talked about that before, that all the, principalities that run these countries, these, presidents of China and Russia and Syria and the U.S. and Canada, all these, leaders, they all know this, that it's basically, them against the enslaved, the rest of the world. They're the ones that are going to determine that the population has grown too much and there's not going to be enough food and other things to feed the people. Yeah, you're going to take their word for it? Well, they're certainly trying to make it come true, that's for sure. I mean, there was an article out the other day. Yeah. I don't know who exactly it was from, but they were talking about, it was from Zero Hedge. I got to find that. Where is that? Anyways, it was about the tankers. The containers that are piling up over there in China, in the ports. They're not being unloaded. Here's just another confirmation. This is from Natural News. China invokes Holocaust horrors as 40 mobile incinerator ovens are deployed in Wuhan, labeled for disposal of animal corpses. There they are. Okay, that's all you really need to know. Just remember that story that I told you to read or you listen to. Japan activates global suicide mission. Begins releasing thousands of potentially cross-infected cruise ship passengers onto the streets of Tokyo starting today. Yeah, they released everyone from that cruise ship, the Princess something. What's it called? I forget. But they let them all go. Yep. Diamond Princess. That was the name of it. 14 days in quarantine, even though some people say, I mean, anywhere from 2 days. I mean, they even go as far as 21 days. And then you got other ones, even if you've, you know, past the time allotted for someone to get this, if they're going to get it. But you got other people saying that, you can get it twice. You can actually be infected, not get sick, or get sick, and then later on it will happen again. So that's very strange. Never known any coronavirus or heard of any coronavirus. Flu-like, okay? Anyways, they're released. Some of them came home already on airliners to this country. And we talked about that too. For the first time ever, I think that you would have some kind of virus outbreak, right? And then detain the people who might be infected on military bases. They're putting all this stuff in your head so that they're trying to get what you would say about it, get your response to it, and they will go according to those things. Yeah. Coronavirus. African locust plague. An Iran-U.S. conflict heralds the second coming of Christ, warn biblical scholars. Well, I'm going to have to disagree with that one. There's a lot more to it than just that. There's always been wars and rumors of wars, throughout history. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about many other things, not just the plagues and the pestilence and these so-called locusts, and they're now calling it a plague, and it probably could. I mean, they called those they called the plagues in Egypt the plagues, and one of them was, I believe, wasn't it locusts? It was locust then too, was it not? I'm just guessing because I do not remember. But here are some figures. This was yesterday's. This is today's at 3:26 p.m. today, Wednesday. We're up from yesterday, up a couple thousand being confirmed having this virus, and up about 170, 125, 139 that have died from it. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I always thought this was the death toll, but it's obviously it's not. Sometimes I just, I can just be really stupid. Totally miss something so obvious, and that's it's kind of how we got to, start thinking. We got to take the obvious things, I forget what it is. It's Occam's razor or Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is that if something's going to go wrong, it will go wrong, or something like that. I don't know which one it is that says that if something does go wrong, it's usually the most insignificant thing that is the problem. Like say if a light switch doesn't go on and off, okay, the light just stays on or something. Instead of taking the bulb out, checking for a bulb and checking the fixture in the ceiling, take the cover off of the switch, find out that it's just a wire that came loose. That's it. It was very easy. In the meantime, taking everything apart. Something like that. I know it was a bad analogy, but something like that. I mean, it usually is the simplest thing. Yeah, this is a droid that's been retrieved. You're going to see the English. You're going to hear this thing talking and out in front of a window somewhere. Could be USA.
刚接到市政府发来的书面告知通知，武汉市政府已经下达会议指令，从现在开始，全市所有居民小区由封闭式小区变更为完全封闭小区。原定每户每周7天可以出去1人购买必需品，现在变更为从此刻起，任何人不能出门。原7天出行1次的规定取消，请大家自觉配合政府令，不要出门，不要下楼。
You know, walk downstairs, strolling exercise, clustering together, chatting, are forbidden. Scavenging. You can't go in the garbage cans. Look for food. In any case, man. I mean, really, that could be, except for the bars on the darn window, but some people, say in New York, first floor apartments on a busy street will probably have bars on the windows. In any case, this could have been done anywhere. But these, it looks like these big, huge speakers with pre-recording in it. Well, you might see it coming, to a street near you, maybe your hometown, these little robots during a martial law, or especially if you don't get the worldwide, vaccine. So here you go. I already told you about this. Russia becomes the first country to ban all Chinese from entering. And it's not just Chinese anymore. It's spread beyond that. Do you think it's just the Chinese in these countries that? No, it's not just the Chinese. May have started there. It's definitely not the Chinese, just them. Temporarily banned the Chinese from entering as of February 20th. And this is what I wanted to get to you. Saw this yesterday from Zero Hedge. And this is another thing that we need to think about, okay? Because just the title, Supply Chains Chaos Unfold at Major Chinese Ports as Frozen Meat Containers Pile Up. Now, these meat containers with the chicken, frozen pork, and beef, and come from South America, Europe, and the U.S. It's not coming out of China. It's going into China. Piling up at Xinjiang, Shanghai, and Ningbo. Because of lack of truck drivers, because they're not letting these people to go about their normal daily routines. Why? Why not? Some of these factories, they were talking about Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, trying to sneak in parts for these cars in suitcases, because the factories are closed or something like that because of lack of people. Businesses are just not going to, to open these factories to 20% of its workforce. And I say, why not? 20% is better than nothing. Even with these things, lack of truck drivers, what are they? It just sounds ridiculous to me. Lack of truck drivers, get somebody else, get other truck drivers, get regular people and whatever. The thing that bothers me here is that they're putting this stuff out there, and China, China supposedly 20% of the world's GPU, that's what they needed to state. It's only 20%. 20% is 20%. It's a good chunk, but there are ways to work around it, but that's not what I think is going on. What I think is going on is what has been going on for the past, year, with all the flooding in the breadbasket of the USA and other countries. When you later on heard that some of these places, some of the crops not going to get out because of all the flooding. They're still going to get crops out, but they're just not going to get what they normally get out. This whole purpose of this whole thing is to collapse everything. They still want to have this one world order, this one world government. And if they go and start collapsing the food chain, and then they say, oh, well, we'll take over, we'll make sure everyone gets food, and then give you a mark on your forehead or your right hand in order to get this food. And there you have it, folks. Then they would have gotten what they were, apparently going to have in Revelation, the beast system, the mark of the beast, all this stuff. So that's what I'm saying, things are pretty darn close because we're not supposed to be here for that, at least not all of us. There's supposed to be some kind of rapture out of here before all that stuff happens. We're not supposedly, according to some, we're not supposed to go through anything starting from the beast or the Antichrist, forward. It's just for the Jewish people. Yeah, I'm sorry. The rest of the world's still going to be here too. But I do think this is just another ploy for them to take over the food industry, the governments. I mean, China already has taken over their food supply, but that's what I think it is, folks. I mean, heck, all you have to do is hire somebody else, train them, whatever. It's not that hard. If you're not a jive, I mean, it's just a matter of some of these things are small, that automatic. You don't have to be shifting gears like some people do in this country with their big rigs, double clutching, all this other stuff. I don't know if they still do that, but in any case, just that I just want you to know with all this stuff that it just means that it's so much closer to the Lord returning. And that's what I am looking forward to. And so this from Charisma, this update, was the flowing oil in Dalton a hoax? Okay, well, I read the article, okay, and they really don't give you the answer except that the Bible just stopped flowing oil, okay? They said for 3 years, the team of Flowing Oil Ministries in Dalton, Georgia said oil was supernaturally flown from a Bible owned by a man named Jerry Pierce. People traveled to the North Georgia city from all over the country to see the Bible, receive prayer, and take home a small vial of the clear oil. More than 350,000 vials of the olive or the oil, that was my word, have been given away since the miracle reportedly began in early 2017. 400 gallons of oil later, okay, leaders of the ministry say the miracle stopped on January 10th. So on February 11th, they canceled regular worship services, which were being held in the Wink Theater in Dalton, and the ministry's website says revival meetings scheduled in Arizona, North Carolina, California, and other states have all been canceled. So what happened? So the abrupt announcement came around the time of the Chattanooga Times Free Press published an investigative article claiming that Pierce had been seen regularly buying mineral oil at a local tractor supply store in Dalton. Two store managers told the Times that they saw Pierce making the purchases. And when the newspaper ran chemical tests on the oil, they reportedly found the substance exactly matched the oil sold at the store. So, Pierce, apparently, as the article goes on, will tell you that he never used the oil that he bought. So anyway, people began flocking to Dalton to be anointed by the oil. Let's see. Some people claim to be healed. Of course, it's all in their head. It's all a state of mind. Purchase the oil at the local store was made without the knowledge or approval of anyone else in the ministry, and we are all seeking full truth of these accusations. The statement also says Pierce has expressed remorse for having caused the integrity of the work of God to be questioned because of his actions. Pierce later admitted in a February 18th interview, yesterday, with the Times that he did, in fact, buy 8 gallons of mineral oil from Tractor Supply on occasion to pour on the Bible. I was going to pour that oil on the Bible when the Bible quit producing oil. But the Lord checked my spirit on it. And so that's about it. That's the answer you get. So supposedly he bought the oil, didn't put any on it. It's not producing oil anymore. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. I mean, it goes on. I don't know what's going to go on. Yeah, just like, I'm just going to leave it at that. There's an update for that. Most unfortunate, but these things happen. It's like this. This one came out yesterday, too, from Breaking Israel News. I don't know if you've read it or not yet. I just looked at it and didn't bother reading it, but I'm going to post it out there for you all anyway. Israel's top rabbi. I'm currently in discussions with the Messiah himself. Yep, that's what he says. So, an ultra-Orthodox Jewish man prays as he faces the view of the temple. There's nothing to do with that. So, a Haredi rabbi, privy to secrets concerning the Messiah, was sworn to silence for several decades by hidden righteous men, but they have now ordered him for the first time to publicize their messages about current events and the imminent arrival of the Messiah. They tell him that it is literally a matter of life or death. Certainly is. Yeah, believing in Jesus Christ is a matter of life or death. And he wants to give you life. So, Saturday night, Yonatan Dadan of Radio 2000, an Orthodox Hebrew language broadcaster, interviewed Rabbi Yaakov Zisov on his weekly program. He opened with a disclaimer. I came to talk not only about what will happen, but about who will merit to be part of the redemption. Rabbi Zisov said to Denton, a lot of religious people, men with kippet on their heads, will not merit. Many people who do not appear to be religious will be on the inside. Well, we already know all that stuff. People did not. So I guess these are the conversations that he's having with the Messiah, which we already know by reading the Bible. We already know these things. Yep. So I'll leave that link if you want to read on. What else we got here? Yeah. Who cares about Bernie Sanders' medical records? I know I don't. I don't care. But who cares about Trump's taxes? Why do we care about his income tax forms and how he filed? What is anybody going to get out of that? What is anybody going to get out of Bernie Sanders' medical records? The fact that he just had a heart attack and he may not even last the whole. This matters more than the tax records, because if Bernie gets elected, which I don't see ever happening, and dies in midterm, whoever his vice president is, I mean, could that be Hillary? I know Hillary's looking to get on some ticket with somebody as a vice president. And I'm telling you, man, if that happens, pray for whoever Hillary's vice president too, because they may not last. So she could become president. Yeah, and here's some more political news, and this is good news as far as I'm concerned. From World Israel News, former Iraqi refugee challenging Omar in the 5th District called it her patriotic duty. And I guess that's Minnesota. Minnesota's 5th District. So it is time for Omar to leave, and I'm surprised that she has not been arrested for some kind of treason and lying. I mean, she lied to whoever. I don't know if it was Congress who took her application. I mean, married her own brother. And that's out there. I've seen, the marriage certificate. I don't know, great details about it, but I wish somebody would hurry up and come out with it. With all that information, because it's out there. So that's good news over there. And this is the other one. We promise you Uganda deploys Army's soldiers to fight East African locust outbreak. And soldiers from the Uganda People's Defense Force have been called upon the government to work together in coating crops with chemicals to ward off and eliminate the destructive desert locust swarms that have invaded East African countries. Yeah, well, I guess there's plenty of Monsantos over there still. Maybe they can use that. It may not kill the locusts. Well, I guess I could say maybe it will kill the locusts, but it will also kill the people. Anyways, AFP reported that some 160 soldiers were sent to the northern Ugandan village of Atara to spray trees, plants with pesticides that would kill locusts that attempted to devour the rest of the vegetation. Yeah, no worries though, everyone. You could probably wash that stuff off. You don't have to, eat the pesticides that the locusts are dying from. Anyway, silly, ain't it? Yeah, I'm sure they convinced everyone there. And so I'm going to end with this. Mike Pence says that the U.S. is going to return, to space. Astronauts are going to go back to space using American-built rockets before the summer. There it is, midwinter. I mean, before the summer, you're talking, 3 months of spring and probably another month and a half of winter. 4.5 months. I don't hear anybody else talking about astronauts returning to space. And what are they going to do? I mean, they're already in the ISS, supposedly. I don't know whether you believe that or not, but they can't get past the Van Allen belt. I mean, a lot of people talking about that barrier that's nobody can get in and nobody can get out, at least not human flesh. It was put there for a reason. We're not supposed to leave the Earth. Anyways, that's just my opinion. When we're ready, when the Lord comes back, and that's part of the plan, then we will. I hope so. I hope to be part. I would love to be part of some space force, and I actually had a dream one time. I don't, sorry, I am a Trekkie fan, but except for today, I haven't watched that stuff in a long time. It's just, really too sci-fi, but a lot of the stuff in there is real. The tricorders, the hospital beds, they're all out in service somewhere at the technology. I actually had a dream that I was on the bridge of some spaceship. It was definitely docked in space, and there were people on there, and they all turned when I was kind of getting towards the center console, and there was somebody leading me along, and but when I wanted to go see where I was staying in the room, because I thought I was just going to stay in some I don't know, 8x3 foot place, just enough to lay your head down and sleep. And when I found out that I was in kind of one of the upper towards the front decks in kind of like a suite, man, I said, no, that's too much. And the other people were looking at me and they were smiling. And I don't know what that was about, kind of acknowledging that, I guess they were acknowledging that, we're all going to be on a journey, and I was there to be a part of that. They were all there to be a part of it, and it was all good. So in any case, that could have been just obviously, fantasizing, whatever it is, but I don't remember too many of my dreams, but I did remember that one. And one over the weekend too, but any case, yeah, we're gone way too far over practically no news. So it is Wednesday. Hopefully I will see you all Friday, get something out unless something happens. So God bless everyone. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Peace out, everyone.